Hello everyone, welcome to Toyeen Talks. Hey, to all our beautiful subscribers, we say thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're here, you are new here, we are happy you find us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified for more upcoming videos. In the comment section, please no derogatory comments. Thank you all for watching. Till I will see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
Wow. The justice is not on social media. And we are just creating awareness for international bodies. Ṣé mọ̀ gbogbo ìlú sì tí ọmọ yìí bá fẹ́ travel. Nbo. Ṣé kò tí mo sọ yẹn gbogbo ìlú sì àti create awareness kò síbi tá ṣàná lè lọ àfi tó bá ṣe surgery. Ṣé gbọ́ mi. Now ẹ jẹ́ kí n wà honest fún yín lẹ́ni. Tí wọ́n bá rí concrete evidence àbí witness a máa kún fàdúrà o. It's not because of ayọ̀ alone o. A máa kún fàdúrà. I've blocked the person. Ede, I've blocked the person. Thank you. I've blocked the person. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sòótọ́ fún yín sìn. Ká má parọ́, ká má tọ́ra wa. Court work with facts and figures. Facts and figures. So téèyàn kan bá sọ pé òun ní nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ tí mo ìwádìí ká fi sílẹ̀ kò ní nǹkan kan ṣé tí ẹ invite ẹ̀ náà kẹ́ gba nǹkan tó ní kẹ́ bèrè pé kí ló ní. Ẹ jẹ́ kóun fún ara ẹ̀ sọ pé òun parọ́ ni òun ò ní nǹkan kan. Court deals with facts and figures. I'm telling you. Even if we are going to that court, ẹ jẹ́ kí n wà honest pẹ̀lú yín lẹ́nu. Witnesses and evidence. I'm telling you the fact. Gbogbo fún forensic tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn. Tí bàbá Mohbad bá sọ fún judge pé bàbá ẹ bá wa béèrè fún forensic because fóònù kan wà tán mú pamọ́. Wọ́n máa sọ fún. Mo sọ fún pé kan nǹkan tó bá ní kí judge ṣe ló máa ń ṣe. Okay, judge fẹ́ sorry, nǹkan tó bá ní sáà ṣe ló máa ṣe. Tó bá sọ fún sáà báwo ni sáà ṣe fẹ́ ṣe? Ìtúrẹ́ ẹni bọ̀dá mú ìwà ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní space nsìn. Kí Mommy Rich Grace àti bàbá máa lọ síbẹ̀. Tí bàbá bá dẹ̀ feel pé òun ò fẹ́ mú ọwọ́ bọ̀dá mú ìwà kò mẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bá wò ṣá. I don't want to talk. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa sọ lọ. Ìgbà tó di Friday. Wọ́n ṣe autopsy níwájú Ọlọ́run àti ènìyàn. Mo sọ fún pé mo nǹkan tí máa ń ṣe. Ẹ̀mí mo fi ń jagun, ẹ̀mí mo fi ń sọ̀rọ̀. Bẹ̀mí bá wọlé wọ́n á ní mo burú èdè mi ò burú, ẹ̀mí mo fi ń jagun. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi? Ìgbà tó di Friday mi kúkú wo nǹkan kan. Wọ́n lọ sí Toxicology, wọ́n lọ sí ibẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n dé. Ṣé ń gbọ́? Wọ́n lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n dé. Àwọn èèyàn ṣá ń pè mí wọ́n para níwájú Ọlọ́run àti ènìyàn. Bí gbogbo èèyàn ṣe ń para yẹn mi rí ro bí pé ṣe sọ pé fake ni irọ́ ni nǹkan kò tí ì wá sọ́kàn mi. Mo sọ pé ẹ̀mí ni máa ń ní kó darí mi. Àwọn èèyàn ń pè mí gan, wọ́n send mail bíjà nígbà o adúró owó tá a dá yẹn a máa gbówó wa padà kíníkan. Mo tẹ̀ láti bu ẹlòmíì gan pé kó f off ṣọkọwọ́ bọ̀ ẹ̀ lápò ni. Mo wá sùn. Sorry, ìjọ yẹn gangan. Mo wá ní gbogbo nǹkan tí mo wò yìí. Jẹ́ kí n pe bọ̀dá mú ìwà. Mo wá pe bọ̀dá mú ìwà. Mo ní bọ̀dá mú ìwà mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ tẹ́tí kẹ́ gbọ́ o. Mo ní bọ̀dá mú ìwà mo fẹ́ bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ní result tó jáde yẹn. Mo ní kí lẹ rí sí. Bọ̀dá mú ìwà mi kanlẹ̀. Ṣé rí màá sọ nǹkan kan fún yín? Ẹ lè sọ pé mò ń gbèjà bọ̀dá mú ìwà. But I think bí n ṣe rò ní o, I think he was also manipulated. I think opinion tèmi ni. Màá dẹ̀ sọ reason fún yín. Mo ní kí lẹ rí sí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí. Result tó jáde yẹn. wọ́n mí kanlẹ̀ wọ́n ní táwọn bá ní kò ṣọ́ọ̀kì àwọn ń parọ́ ni wọ́n ní but kí n ní sùúrù wọ́n ní kí n ní sùúrù kí kọ́pì nǹkan tí pathologist yẹn wá kà káwọn gbà sọ́wọ́ ipa wọn ní àwọn findings kan táwọn fẹ́ ṣe ṣé ń gbọ́ mi mo ní kí lè tẹ́ ṣe sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n wá sọ àwọn nǹkan méjì kan tí mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo yín tẹ́tí kẹgbọ́ lọ́sàn-án ṣèbó ní un tájá rí tájá fi ń gbó ajá kì í dédé gbó lẹ́kúlé bàbá tèmi èèwọ̀ òrìṣà tẹ́ bá rí i pé mò ń kọ́ síbẹ̀ yẹn pé tá bá jà fún Mohbad ta eventually gba justice kí n má sọ bí Mohbad gan mọ̀ pé a jà fóun wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀ nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ mo di nǹkan méjì kan mú bẹ̀ mo ní bọ̀dá mú ìwà ẹ̀ńtẹ́ gbà yìí tó wá ṣe kínní mo níṣẹ́ trust ẹ̀ wọ́n nígbà táwọn bá sọ̀rọ̀ ó sọ̀rọ̀ bí professional ó ní ṣe mo dẹ̀ rí páwọn àtàwọn táwọn jọ bá sọ̀rọ̀ ó sọ̀rọ̀ bí professional. mo ní òkè ó ní bọ́tí kankan làwọn fẹ́ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ wọ́n ní nǹkan táwọn fíìl pó ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn fíìl ni o wọ́n ní ṣe mọ̀ pé ní Nàìjíríà even everywhere in the world wọ́n máa ń lo èèyàn kan fún sacrifice ìlú ni. ṣé gbọ́ mi ṣá ó dàbí ẹ̀gbọ́n wọ́n ní all over the world wọ́n máa ń lo èèyàn kan ló máa lò fún sacrifice ìlú mo ní kọ́ enlighten mi wọ́n ní ṣé mo rí Abíọ́lá MQ Abíọ́lá wọ́n ní ṣé mo rí pé wọ́n pa mo ní yẹn wọ́n ní tí Abacha ò bá pa Abíọ́lá ń gbà yẹn wọ́n yìí máa eventually pa Abíọ́lá ẹ calm down ẹ kí n listen ẹ ti ń attack ṣé tèmi bá attack bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé màá rí gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n á sọ yìí sọ listen wọ́n ní tí wọ́n bá pa Abíọ́lá wọ́n sì máa wá pa Abíọ́lá because Abíọ́lá yìí máa jà fún June 12 yẹn tó dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ kí ìlú máa dàrú every June 12 am I communicating ibi tí mò ń lọ gan mo fẹ́ dé nsìn. wọ́n ní so tí Lagos state government bá rí pé the true autopsy that is if they did one tó bá máa fa wàhálà ní Èkó they will manipulate. ṣọ́wọ́ mi yẹ yín ṣá ẹ ti rí ibi tán mọ́rọ̀ yẹn lọ which tèmi náà dẹ́rì sí. ṣàmì pé tó máa fún wa ní true toxicology and autopsy ṣóyè yín definitely nǹkan wà ń bẹ̀. ó dàbí ìtorí ẹ̀ lọ ṣe sọ pé kán má kà síta ẹ ti rí ibi tí mò ń bọ́ abọ́bọ̀ ìtorí ẹ̀ lọ ṣe ní kán má kà síta ìyẹn tó bá yẹ kó ń ṣe nǹkan kan o so mo ń sọ fún pé ní náà ló ṣe ti Sylvester bàbá Sylvester ṣe Lagos state government ṣe ti Sylvester kò yọrí sí rere inconclusive náà ni bàbá Sylvester wá lo the same pathologist ó lò ó kó bóun ṣe private one ìgbà tí private one náà máa dé inconclusive náà ní máa yí pé I am not excusing for him. Any suru. You're not getting anything. Ibi tí mo wá ń bọ̀rọ̀ lọ ni pé ṣé bọ̀dá mú ìwà mọ̀ ń pa plan yẹn ni? Àbí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ẹ ti get ni? Èmi bí ni ṣó mọ̀ ń pa plan yẹn ni tó fi sáré fún mi ní examples yẹn. Number 2, ṣé ń gbọ́ mi? Mo wá sọ statement kan. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi? Ẹ farabalẹ̀, ẹ má farabalẹ̀. Mo wá sọ statement kan. Ẹ ti jẹ́ kí n gbàgbé nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ. Àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ti sọ fún mi pé Dáwókú nation, olórí burúkú tí ò níṣẹ́ tó máa la ẹkùn àtokó mọ́lẹ̀, tó máa ní kó máa ṣáà dáwó kó máa dáwó. Wọ́n ní Dáwókú nation, ó ti ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn kan máa dáwó ipá wọn fẹ́ ṣe autopsy mi. Ṣé ń gbọ́? The statement tí bàdá mú ìwà sọ fún mi ni pé kò sí how many autopsy tán lè ṣe, the same result ló máa fún wọn. Ibẹ̀ ni mo ti shock. Ibẹ̀ ni mo ti shock. Pé báwo lẹ ṣe mọ̀? Nǹkan tí mo ṣe ń bèrè ni pé ṣé bọ̀dá mú ìwà mọ̀ ń pa plan yẹn? Èèyàn kan pè mí pé Dáwókú nation ti ní kó máa dáwó. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún wọn. Mo ní Dáwókú nation ti ní kó máa dáwó pọ́n fẹ́ ṣe mí. Ó ní wọ́n kàn waste owó wọn ni. Ó ní wọn ò bá lọ ṣe mí ní gbagba. The same result ló máa bá ń bẹ̀. Ibi tí mo ti wà confused ni pé ṣé rí nǹkan méjì tí bọ̀dá mú ìwà sọ yẹn gangan. Òun ló wá fún mi ní deep insight. Tí mo wá wò pé something is wrong somewhere. Why will he give me such answer? Mo wá ní okay. So it is 2 things. Ṣé wọ́n ẹ̀rí pé ìgbà tí mo bọ́ta mi sọ̀rọ̀ tán, mo ní mo fẹ́ ibi tó ti lọ ṣe kíní yẹn. Tó bá sọ pé wọ́n gbé nǹkan kan lọ síbẹ̀, wọ́n manipulate ẹ gbàgbé. Tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé wọ́n gbé nǹkan kan lọ, nǹkan méjì ni. Wọ́n ní olórí burúkú ènìyàn ṣòro Òdùmọ̀ṣù. Ó sọ lánàá pé wọn ò gbowó níbi tó gbé nǹkan lọ. Ó ní wọn ò gbowó. Tí wọn ò bá gbowó, á jẹ́ pé packages tó gbé lọ síbẹ̀ ó ti wà damage. Wọn ò dẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan, wọ́n dẹ̀ dá padà fún wọn. So láàárín wọn wọ́n manipulate results fún wa. Because tẹ́ bá ẹ jẹ́ kí n pè yàn kan. Àṣé gbogbo nǹkan tí pathologist lọ mú lára Mohbad kò tí ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó jẹ́ kán lò nìyẹn. Eyín àti egungun ló jẹ́ kán lò fún nǹkan tó wá yẹn. Pathologist dẹ̀ lọ mú tissue tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé tissue ò lè ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní pathologist department tó ti ṣàwọn ṣẹ́ rí, máa pè wọ́n sí, wọ́n á enlighten wa. Àṣé gbogbo tissue tó náà mú wọn package kò lè ṣe nǹkan kan, wọn lè rí nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìyẹn tí ò bá ṣe pé fake one gan lọ́gbé lọ. Now, one go ibi tí èmi máa ń think, mo máa ń ronú gan. Wọ́n ní olórí burúkú Òdùmọ̀ṣù sọ lánàá pé ìtorí àwọn ọmọ ẹni yẹn ipe pathologist mọ̀ wọ́n níbẹ̀ yẹn ni wọ́n ṣe gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ṣé tí pàwọ̀ tí ń jọra wọn? Pathologist mọ̀ wọ́n níbẹ̀ yẹn lọ ṣe gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ṣé tí pàwọ̀ tí ń jọra wọn? Mo fẹ́ pèyàn kan. Mi ń ṣe nurse. Sorry, mi ń ṣe GP. Mo fẹ́ pèyàn kan. Tó bá gbé, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ fún ara yín. So tí n bá ní mo support pé kí bọ̀dá Múyìwá má dá sọ̀rọ̀ justice for Mohbad mọ́, èmi máa ń like kí n múyàn bíbá. Ó ń bọ̀, ó fẹ́ pé nǹkan. Please, I don't want you to say that here. But we need our money back here, please. Don't bring it here, please. Sister Toyin, are you online? Sister Toyin. Are you online? Hello, ma. Toyin Peperepe, are you online? Can you block all these bastards?
Hello. Hello, PJ.
Office letting me. Auntie, good morning, ma. Good morning, ma. I'm on live, please, ma. Can you give us 5 minutes, please?
5 minutes, okay.
I want to ask you, you are on live, ma. I'm streaming on all my pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please, ma, I want to ask you some questions, which I asked you yesterday, but I want you to come and please come and explain to us.
Yeah. I'll try with my best of knowledge, whatever I can do to support you. No problems.
Okay, ma.
Go
ahead. The pathologist that went to get Mohbad's tissue for autopsy and pathology and everything, they came back and tell us it was inconclusive. Number one. And number two, the lawyer that was part of the pathologist said yesterday that where they took the Europe country they took the sample to, they did not collect money from us. Which I asked you some questions yesterday, ma. Please, can you explain to us, ma? Because with your level of intelligence and in the health sector, please, ma, don't bá fẹ́ irú check bẹ́ẹ̀ ma. Kí ló máa wà efficient. Please, ma, ṣé ká sọ Yorùbá bí òyìnbó? Ẹ sọ òyìnbó, ma. Kẹ́ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ sókè, ma.
Sorry, TikTok and all that. There are some certain words. Okay,
oh yeah, ẹ sọ Yorùbá, ma. Ẹ sọ Yorùbá, ma.
So that Shemo, our words are doing. Only know I think I'm flagging. Okay. Though I've not been part of what is going on with Justice for Mohbad, but I want to give you advice or explain things to you in my best. How will I put it? With my experience in the health sector, I practice in the UK and I run a private practice myself. That we do quite a lot of investigation and we do send specimen to labs and all that. But looking at the issue here, you mentioned two major issues. You said it was the result was inconclusive. Inconclusive is very broad and sometimes it can be vague. Unless we see the report itself, I'm not sure if they've published the report, then we can look at what they mean by inconclusive. Inconclusive could mean that they couldn't use the specimen, or the specimen was not good enough to be shagged. By the time
yes, ma. Sorry, ma. I forgot to tell you. The pathologist said it in court. Because of body Mohbad, àwọn ò lè discover nǹkan tó pa Mohbad but àwọn mọ̀ pé kò sí egbògi olóró lára ẹ̀ ipe kò dẹ̀ sí ó dẹ̀ sọ another thing so
me pé wọ́n test the result yẹn ló wà inconclusive.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mà.
wípé wọ́n test rárá wọn ò lè lo specimen yẹn. This is what I'm saying, it's two things. ṣé rí pé bóyá ó wà inconclusive yẹn, like I said, it's very broad. Inconclusive could mean that okay, wọ́n carry out testing yẹn with the specimen and they could not find what happened. They could not find any cause of death. Whether the tissue or the sample tí wọ́n lò were good enough ni or kò ti wà contaminated kan tó gbé débẹ̀. That is why it's very important for that to report. Kò ṣe nǹkan tó ń sọ o, but the report from the lab yẹn issue, you need to demand for it. The original report, because the original report will say exactly from tissue to the bone to the blood to anything specimen. O ma sọ categorically findings wọn. Nínú blood, this is what we found. Nínú other tissue, this is what we found. We need to see that, BJ. Otherwise, even Koje the top surgeon, Koje the top doctor, without seeing the lab report on my chronological report from A to Z what they did. So inconclusive, to me it's very vague, so we need to actually see it. My own concern is the fact that they said lab go bawo for test on what ground? The lab if they've already paid what is from pathologist wants 16 million or 10 million or 12 million. Could be specimen no still lab. Right? They now took the specimen. So meaning they doctor to one Nigeria pathologist.
Oh, auntie me. What's up Emma Binuma because me working here and cut something. Only because the body was not preserved. The specimen was not preserved. That
is why. You know yesterday when we were talking,
I said
to you, I said not paying, paying could be based on the fact that this was actually not done. The specimen was probably rejected. The specimen was probably not good enough. It happens a lot, even in the UK. Like I said, I run a private practice and we do a lot of specimen. By the time you take that specimen, how transport they be done below?
One post there,
that is number one. One post there was specimen never present. System when you want look from all those questions need to be answered. She won't freeze any. Was it then just DHL look below ni? She frozen pack no low ni. She won't preserve it below chemical and it don't fit all those things matters depending on what are we trying to achieve, what specimen are we sending. They said it's tissue, fair enough. We need to see that. Then the lab, was that specimen actually rejected? And the point is here, this specimen was rejected in the lab because they couldn't use it. Then the lab would probably not have charged them. So there is a lot of misrepresentation of words saying we won't charge and we'll not sure how come. Can you affiliate the pathologist pẹ̀lú Nigeria, pẹ̀lú lab tó wà ní UK or US or Romania or wherever Turkey to pay specimen law? Why would they not charge? You know, I asked that question. I said, why have they not charged for a service they were supposed to provide? It is not a cheap service. So what? There's probability. Please, I'm using probability here because I know we're live and a lot of people are watching. That specimen was probably rejected. So therefore, there was nothing carried out on it. So they will not charge. Even you were saying that UK, yes, we could. So we need the name of that lab where that specimen was sent to. Right? Then we need to know how was this specimen transported from Nigeria to the lab. Kini requirements of one? Sheni to post show meet the requirements here. How long will take you no? Nígbà tó débẹ̀, report it on fún wa da. Specimen was rejected. They will never say it was inconclusive. They will not use that word. Right? The specimen here, so much the lab here, so much contaminated because it was not preserved properly. Right? Listen to what I'm saying. There's probability that they did not carry out anything with that specimen. Then they will not charge. So I Nigeria not below. I might be saying, okay, maybe not. Any lab to any license will not do that. Even here, specimen gets rejected a lot of time and they will tell you the reason. They might get it to the lab and they might then realize that they're not going to get anything out of it because the specimen itself is not viable. They won't use it. And why would they charge? So somebody's saying that how? What is the relationship between the lab and the pathologist? She only stake ni she get only stake ni no business ni what she must say for all of it. Right? She only stake in Benny. Or was that specimen actually rejected? Or was the specimen actually not good enough to be used? Then the report will say it. The original report from the lab will actually highlight what happened to that specimen. It's very easy. The original report, not the one, the pathologist to base it out. I'm talking about the original report that was actually issued, which can be verified. Romania, Europe, it is very easy to find out. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very easy because that lab has the license to protect. It's like the way I'm working. I have my license to protect. I cannot falsify document. And we have the right to ask, the public have the right to ask for the original report. Because I okay, one by specimen, one by blood, one by tissue. The report for the blood is different from the report that you get from the tissue. Every aspect, every specimen, some by manual reports. Then they will tell us what happened to that report. By the time they received it, if they say they received it and they rejected that specimen, they will tell us the reason why it was rejected, which is probability 90% probability that it was probably not used. That was why they did not charge, rather than saying, oh, Fenoche, how? In Europe? Tell me something I do not know. Tell me something I do not know. Understand? Maybe we can even call somebody. I know a lot of pathologists here that work in the lab that they can come and tell you what happened when specimen arrive, what they do, how they manage specimen, how specimen is supposed to be transported. You remember that this is Nigeria we're talking about. It will take about maybe a week before it gets to where it's going. Call DHL go. How does DHL do it? Do you get it? It's an ordinary DNA test. You can verify how they transport DNA test from Nigeria to UK to test. Which members does it a lot. That they will take specimen from Nigeria. There's a certain way you do it. So these pathologists need to tell us. Tell the public. It's public fund, right? They need to tell us. How did you do it? Which lab did you use? How did you transport it? How come they're saying that the lab did not charge? What is your relationship with the lab? Do you have a stake? Has someone paid the lab on behalf of the public? That is why they're not charging, because I've never heard it anywhere in Europe where they would do something for no. So we need to find out. So there are lots of questions that we need to ask, and I know you can champion that. You need to start asking questions. Don't leave any stone unturned. The question starts from this pathologist person. Now we know his name. We need to verify the qualification and where does it work. When he went to take the specimen, how was this specimen transported from Nigeria to the lab? What is the name of the lab? What is the relationship with that lab? How come the lab said they have not charged? Where is the report, original report from the lab? The original report will highlight all those questions. I don't believe that any lab in Europe would do such a job. BJ, it is not a small work. To do it for free, for what? Do you get? Was this specimen actually rejected on arrival? Is that why they did not charge? Check it.
Oh, yeah, Mima.
Is that why they did not charge? So let's ask question. Then we take it from there. Then we bring experts. I will get the experts from here that works in the lab to come and analyze the report. We won't hear it. Yes. But the original report here, there's no point arguing blindly. We want the original report. Inconclusive. What do you mean by inconclusive? Just get all the specimen that was taken from Nigeria, from tissue to blood, or tissue specimen, that was the blood specimen. So we need the report, individual report. We will first verify from the lab whether that report, they might not want to talk, but they can verify if that report was issued by them. Right? Then we then start analyzing the report one by one. How come they are reason to charge if they understand? So because if the pathologist is a mistake in the lab, then it's compromised. You can't do that. Then that man will be in trouble in Nigeria. Because if you have a stake, this is a very high profile case. If you have a stake in that business, it's below. Stake meaning show interest in Benny, show more worry, show more lab with any working relationship. How can you collect 16 million for a service? Then you now took the specimen to the lab and the lab did not charge, and you did not come back to say, integration for me, or the lab did not charge.
Abi?
How come now?
They did not even tell me so for when the lab will charge.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to say, I don't follow justice for Mohbad. I'm just telling you from professional opinion that, okay, you collected certain money that you want to do something for something, whatever kind of business, and then you now got there. The lab did not charge that 16 million. Has it made a refund to say, okay, maybe part of 90% of the fund to back cost of doing this job is for the lab. 10%.
No, answer me. No, oh shit, gongon, moti confirm dada. 16 million ni service charge it's here. Oh, it's here. kò ń ṣe fún lab according to nǹkan tó sọ fún mi owó tóun náà máa gbà nìyẹn even 10 million ló kọ́kọ́ fún.
That is ridiculous. BJ, who is telling you that? So for him to just take a segment in Nigeria is 16 million.
Yes, 16 million ló gbà ma ó kọ́kọ́ gba 10 million.
So no, to carry out this test itself, ṣé ó break it down fún yín pé tóun bá gba mi ìfẹ́ sóyìn bójú. Ṣé tí wọ́n sọ pé tóun bá gba owó pé ṣé wọ́n iṣẹ́ ìsìnkú méjì. I'm taking the specimen. Okay, now I want to test for diabetes, for example. I run a clinic. I've seen you. I said, okay, I need a blood test. Okay, the cost that you're paying me for that service is inclusive. I'm the clinician. I'm the one that is doing the assessment. I'm the one that's already diagnosed you that maybe I had diagnosed you with coronary diabetes. Now I want to take your blood test. I'm taking it to the lab. But would I now say, okay, I'm charging you 60 million for my consultation? Then the lab.
Benima.
Where is the breakdown?
Benima. In koto so ngba yen se ngbo ma. Ìgbà tó béèrè 60 million, wọ́n kọ́kọ́ fún ní 10 million. 60 million yẹn jẹ́ kí n ṣàlàyé owó tó jẹ́. Ó kúrò láti Ìbàdàn. Hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì tó tún lọ jẹ́ sí mà. Àwa la sanwó yẹn. Àwọn owó public náà lọ fi sanwó hotel. Wọ́n sanwó hotel. Owó tó gbà ni pé owó pé ó máa mú specimen Mohbad. Òun máa mommy ṣé kí tún já yín sí mà. Wọ́n tún ra according to them, wọ́n ra package almost 2 point something million. Tó fi package tó fi post ẹ̀. Kò tún yọ́nú 60 million yẹn mà. So owó ṣe pé ó jẹ́ ṣẹ́rí àǹtí mi professional ló fi kó wọn lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ́. Tẹ́ bá bọ̀ Bọ̀dáyọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ Bọ̀dáyọ̀ ní it's a professional.
Were they supposed to then pay the lab separately from that 16 million?
Ìyẹn la fẹ́ jẹ́ kó wá ṣàlàyé fún wa sí. But according to àlàyé tí Bọ̀dáyọ̀ ṣe fẹ́ mi o owó ṣe ní 16 million ló pè fún mi mà.
Okay, they said they told you this iṣẹ́ showing cost 16 million. Now I'm asking question. I wasn't part of this. I didn't understand but this is the question I will ask. You want to carry out this service for us, right? So you're charging 16 million. The 16 million, does this include taking the specimen and the lab testing?
No, ma.
If they now said no, then people need to start questioning who agreed this kind of agreement, who made this agreement with that man. Because if you told me you're taking the specimen just to take specimen sample is 16 million, which is questionable. You know how much that is in pounds? Do you know how much that is in dollars? Just to take a specimen.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
not being insensitive, I'm just being factual.
Yeah, please, man. Go ahead.
Was it written anywhere between this man and I want to be careful that the lab will do it for free? Or the lab will charge extra, because I've not heard that from everything we've been talking about since. The lab might charge extra. My belief is the way things are supposed to be done is, as a pathologist, you have agreed to do this job. Whether over lab, whether over transportation, you should have given them that invoice that will cover this as a whole, rather than saying 16 million to take a sample. Worry. What kind of sample? Tissue sample? Blood sample? Then let's ask question. I think you need to start asking questions, and I hope you're making notes. That question is, we need to see the agreement between them and the pathologist, because like you said, this is public money. It's a GoFundMe, and they are accountable. They are accountable to the public that contributed the money. Nobody can say otherwise. Everybody involved, including the pathologist, including the solicitor that paid the pathologist, they are accountable. Meaning, let's show where is the invoice. Timani issue. The invoice said we're charging 60 million for this service. If it does not include the lab money, then it should have been noted. I'm a business person, I understand what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, we need also the report, not in what the pathologist called, no. The original lab report will tell you on arrival, the day specimen to receive it, they will tell you exactly what was wrong with the specimen. They will tell you exactly whether they were able to actually use that specimen or not. So that is why I said, inconclusive, I would love to see the CTC so that I will read it myself. Then we will go and bring an expert. Like I said to you, I will get an expert that would analyze that report to you from A to Z of the report. Yes, we will be online, we will analyze it, then we will see. Do you get?
Yes, ma'am.
They shouldn't use that fake of the lab did not charge money yet. that one is actually compromised. Oh, it compromised a lot of things. Why would the lab not charge money? Why? Is it because the lab, somebody paid the lab? Is it because the lab has interest in Mohbad's case? Is it because the lab has affiliates with the pathologists in Nigeria? So if it's a professional, his own license is actually at risk because people will start asking questions. Like, what kind of pathologist are you? How did you transport it? Was it DHL? Was it frozen? Was it like in ice pack? How was it transported? How long? When did you post it? Where is the evidence of the post? Which courier did you use? Is it DHL? Are they actually specialists in transporting specimen? This is Nigeria we're talking about, BJ.
And Auntie me, can I quickly tell you something, man? The same pathologist, you know, lo she private pathologist for Baba Sylvester Tokunjo say. The same pathologist came back to tell Sylvester's father that the result was inconclusive. In Baba insurance money, come back with good results. No, the same thing. Also, chef from Mohbad, you say.
I don't want to condemn that pathologist. I don't know him, but we can look into him. Once we've got the name now, we will look at what is done. We would ask questions. Like I said, professionals will talk to him. Temo, because we will ask questions and said, okay, where was this happen? How was it transported? The courier you used, how did they do it? How have they done it? Are they specialists in transporting a specimen? How was it transported and arrival to the place? Give us the name of the lab. There's no secrecy in these now. We know the name of the lab. We can question the lab. Do you know that this kind of thing, it happens that, okay, at the end of the day, you don't need to accept. If you do a test somewhere and they said it's inconclusive or there's question about the report, you're entitled to seek for another place, for it to be taken to another place, for you to seek for a second opinion. It happens a lot in
And Auntie, can I quickly ask a question, ma? Is it possible to specimen yet shaking it all about no it's lo manje best?
Oh, possible. Oh, that's why I said that. It's very, very. She be Kimakawa to low kini keja kalunya de gungunu to nibi. Oko godun. Taba say you were on Netflix now. Kele wo crime watch, kele wo rishi be. Okuto ti lo 100 years, great. Toba ri gugu, toba ri yen. Washing. They still do test on it. So that is why I'm saying that there's probability that the way they handle the specimen itself, like I said, I'm not there. I am just saying in my own opinion that it might be the way they handle the specimen before they got it there. The specimen itself was already probably rejected. The way, knowing, especially with this person, open and honest with you guys. There's probability, that's why I'm switching the probability for you, that the specimen was probably rejected in that lab. That was why they did not test it. That was why probably they did not charge them. That's why they didn't pay. Because by the time to buy David, Toba rejects us.
Auntie, me gbàgbé pé tó bá mọ̀ pé tó bá wá padà sọ fún wa pé reject ẹ, ó máa fẹ́ béèrè refund 60 million. Owó dẹ̀ ní fẹ́ kó sílẹ̀.
Should be Nigeria, Lele. This is Nigeria, but that is why I say that, Shemo, I want to one in new team. You cannot. I'm not blaming anybody. Please don't get me wrong. But when you want to deal with people like that, but pathologist, vulnerability and what team, Baba. If you at the end of the day, you must have a doctor. You must have somebody. To what? Don't need knowledge. You need to deal with this person from day one.
Exactly.
So the question would have been asked.
Auntie me, iṣẹ́ lọ gbéṣẹ́ fún. Auntie mi wọ́n gbéṣẹ́ fún. Wọ́n wá sit back. Wọ́n ní tó go jẹ́ professional. Wọ́n náà wọ́n fẹ́ disturb ẹ̀. Tó bá dẹ̀ pé àwọn disturb ẹ̀, àwọn pọ̀kù nọ́ọ̀sì sínú ẹ̀.
Okay, lawyer no represent, but I understand. Solicitor, kí ni solicitor mọ̀ nípa medical? Kó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé kó jẹ́ pé solicitor yẹn kó jẹ́ pé lawyer yẹn kó jẹ́ pé medical lawyer ni. Lawyer yẹn ó máa mọ̀ nípa okay medical law ló máa mọ̀. Kò lè mọ̀ the nitty-gritty of the questions a professional or a doctor or someone who is in a medical profession tó máa mọ̀ láti fi béèrè. For example, I would have asked to say, okay, this is it. She tissue, she blood, how are we going to transport it? She DHL, no fed Benny, she FedEx, are they aware of what we put in the pack? She need to cook in the bag, you see, you post the NTN. There are certain ways you handle such things now. Or are we actually going to fly? I would expect that pathologist to have been in the plane himself to fly with that specimen. Presided it. And actually, yes, go fly. It happens a lot with that specimen. Go and preserve. Go there declare to airline that this is what I'm doing. He's saying it now. This is what he does. And it's really sad. Really sad that Emo, what I people say your money, you're there. But at the end of the day, if things are not done properly, this is what you will get. If things, honestly, I'm sorry to say, if things are not done properly, you will get this. And it's just a shame that, if that's the one in Nigeria, that's what a lot of anymore. That specimen can actually be only change within that table. How do they be told want to change it? I guess. That's the specimen. So I have to go to the airport of plane of things. How at my exchange and before you get there. And the lab, the lab behind the reject it. I don't want to say that lab compromised, please, because in any part of Europe, I know because of their license, it's very, very difficult. It must be very difficult for that lab to compromise and to change results. It's very difficult because they know that license will go down the drain for it. Talk about Nigeria now, say yes. So two things could have happened. They would have probably received a contaminated specimen, so therefore they couldn't use it, or they received the specimen, they could not use it because one thing or the other has happened to it, or they received a total different specimen. Who knows? So, but the original report of that lab is very important. If anybody wants to clamor for anything, it's to clamor for not the report. The pathologist be what's the court. That is not going to tell us anything. We don't want that. We want the original report with the name. Then we can verify that this lab that you issued this report, because the date will be there, the time will be there. We can verify to say, was this issued? Once they said yes, the lab report was issued by themselves, then we start analyzing it. We bring experts. This is the UK. We bring experts. Everybody, jack of all trades. You might be a doctor, but at the end of the day, you're not a pathologist. You're not the one who is going to work in the lab. We bring experts, that will analyze that report from A to Z. Then we will see. Once we're able to confirm that that report was to confirm that the lab within the Europe actually issued it. That is it. Then we can actually confirm, look, so the reason, if they paid or not. I'm just not comfortable with the fact that one Shefa will not pay. Anything free, BJ, you have to question. When someone says to you, I'm doing a service for you free of charge, start questioning it. Why are you doing it for me? What is your interest? Why do you want to do it for me for free? You're a lab. Yes, it's high stake, it's a very high stake a case that should have been handled very professional and with care. Every bit, we should have asked questions from the one about every process.
Oh, bere question ma, because mo you sọ fún wọn. Mo ní why tell ṣe bere questions. Wọ́n ní mi go ba gba receipt gan aunty. Ton ba gba we sha. But wọ́n bere question. Wọ́n nígbà tó ti jẹ́ professional. Báwo la wọ́n ṣe ma talk pinpin. I won't believe in him.
No. Except funny now.
Of course, it is our money. Mo sọ lánàá. Mo pay any, so I have to support the investigation.
Oh, what? You pay someone to provide a service and you're saying you cannot ask questions. If you don't know, you are very sure there's somebody within your team that has medical knowledge now that could have handled the man, that would have been to supervise the man, or that would have been to be part of it. So in your call, now one person cannot be doing anything. We're not a doctor, we're not a no, we're going to work. So vulnerability, we have to talk with chef from Como. Check it. So I'm not saying chef for no fraud. I'm not saying, but the man, the pathologist himself, Nigeria, it's very easy now. He himself, he knows that his license, the only license being practiced now. Somebody need drag it. Somebody need a question that okay, we will not say the wrong money, we will not say the wrong money. Now, same lab, don't know in Europe, no lo shini. Same lab, don't know in Europe, you shop no say the wrong money for me. Shop any. How can you be saying to me mental survey that there's supposed to
lawyer tó John ṣiṣẹ́ ló sọ, lawyer tó John ṣiṣẹ́, lawyer tó introduce ẹ sí wọn ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó lọ fẹ́ lọ ṣe. And aunty mi ṣe rí ya Mohbad dẹ̀ ti sọ kí result tó jáde. Ó ní wọ́n lè rí nǹkan kan. She said it. ìyá Mohbad said it. Ó ní wọn lè rí nǹkan kan.
Power could have probably changed, and that's why I said to you that we need to be a very deep critical.
And àǹtí mi ṣe kí n tún ṣọ́ọ̀kì Sani wá sọ kíní kan ní last inquest ìgbà tó interview ẹ̀. Ó ní tabari lè fẹ́ justice. Ó ní don't look at the body of Mohbad. Ó ní everybody in that house ní káwọn èèyàn focus lé lórí. Kí ló mì nìyẹn? Á ti ní nǹkan tí bàbá yẹn gan náà rí.
Because you see, because that kind of lawyer, so just understand, what's the more system to one on the ground in Nigeria? That is why I said to you, a lot of things could have happened to that specimen. Trust me, BJ, when I said to you, a lot. Because the specimen play a key role in the report you're going to get. The specimen called low 100 years can still be done, I'm telling you. But in the case of Nigeria, a lot could have happened. From when